Hello, my angelites. This is Angel Terri here with some more Lords of Xulima. So in our last video, we had gone over what was happening, that Galen was chosen by the Lord Zolot, the god of mind and the maker, something dibbity-dabbity-doo. And that him and his 5 friends, who probably have no idea what the hell's going on, were taken to the land of Xulima, which is where the gods used to live. But they're in a big war and they left. And of course this big war is kind of screwing over the place where Galen and his friends came from. So we can't leave, so we're stuck here to figure out what's going on. And I went over the UI and everything, so let's see what we got. So we just hold on to the button here. We can hit control to run. Okay. Interacting with objects. Use your mouse pointer to carefully examine the objects you see in the surrounding environment. If an object lights up, you can interact with it. It's not tab. There used to be. Is there shift? Sorry about that. I turned on sticky keys. I thought there was a way you can highlight what was going on. Alright. You can highlight stuff that you can take. Or highlight stuff that you can do stuff. You know what I mean. You know, like when you play a game and you hit tab. Okay, let's walk it down this way. Lords of Xulima. Alright, so this is an herb. These are herbs, so we're not going to touch those right now. We're going to come back. Plant collection. Galen the Explorer has the ability knowledge of herbs, which allows him to gather plants, herbs, and mushrooms. The more you improve this ability, the more you will be able to harvest from each plant you find. When you have enough samples, you will be able to use them to improve an attribute or resistance. But like I said, we're not going to do that. Some things can be stuck in the little sides here, so... What is this? Plant with fruits. Okay, so these are food reserves. Pay attention to how much food reserves you have. As you travel, rest, and perform actions, you will consume your food reserves. Without food, you cannot rest. When you rest, you regain your hit points and power points, and you can cure any wounds you have received. When traveling in some terrains, like deserts or snow, you will use more food than normal. Try to stay on the roads and pass whenever possible. You can get food by buying it from vendors in villages, finding it in sacks or barrels, or by finding it in nature. Nature's always the best, so we'll grab that. I'm assuming food is also done just like the herbs do, but food is important, so we're going to grab whatever food we find. Okay, so that's an herb there. We don't want to pick that up. That's an herb there. Okay. I could just run everywhere, but I think that uses up stamina or something. The other thing I didn't go over was this little light thing here. This tells you if there's any enemy in the area. Now, you get a bonus experience and knowledge, I believe, if you completely take all the enemies out of an area, which means the ones you can see and the ones you run into as you're just running around like an idiot. Okay, so that's up to you if you want to do that. I like to do it because, you know, extra points and all is great for when you're trying to build up. Alright, this is food. Alright, so it takes 3 days for that to come back. Okay, good. Yeah, herbs don't do that. Herbs just go away. It'd be nice if they did come back, but they don't. Divine temples. Beyond this forest stood a human village. Could there really be humans living in Xulima? The legends told us that in the past, men and gods walked together over these lands. I wonder if they know something about Rodinia and the kingdoms of the west. Well, we don't want to go there just yet. There's a reason why. But first I want to just look around here. More of that stuff. Okay. I keep thinking I can pick those plants, but I can't. Alright, and that doesn't go anywhere, right? It's good to run if you want to, like, get the, random encounters to get you quicker. Just run around everywhere. It's easier than walking. Alright. This is the town of, village of Velagarn. Yeah, I'm not talking to you yet, you little jerk. And more herbs. More herbsy burbsies. And always be mindful, there's a lot of areas where it doesn't look like you can go through, but you actually can. See, I like to pick a side and just kind of walk down it. You know, and use that as my guide here. Aha! All right, that's our first battle. Now first, we're going to save. Okay, now a few things here. Spots a few rare plants which could be useful. You collect your units. This is like, this happens randomly. I didn't click on anything. It just happens randomly. Enemies. Enemies that you see on the map are immobile and won't attack until you enter into their area of influence. Mouse over the enemy to see how close you can get before they attack. Though the enemies are represented on the map by a solitary creature, they are normally found in groups. Use the right mouse button to see how many enemies are present in the group. Okay, so first off, when you highlight, see that circle around them? The red and the purple? That shows how close you can get before they're going to see you. If we hold down the right button, it tells us what they are, their difficulty, they can get really hard, and how many they are. So we're going to fight these little jerks. I don't think there's actual real sneak attack combat, because whenever you hit that circle, they're going to get to you anyway. Alright. Combat functions through a turn-based system. The order of turns is shown in the column on the right-hand side and is based on the speed and conditions of the combatants. Combatants will lose turns if they're stunned, paralyzed, etc. When it's one of your character's turns, you will see the actions available to them on the screen. When you select your action, you may also need to select a target for that action. Only polearms and projectile weapons can be used from the back line. By the same rule, combatants on the back line are protected from most attacks by those on the front line. Use the button Combat Grid on the map screen in order to set the combat positions for your group. During combat, you can also change the position of your party members when it's their turn, or you can pull them out of combat to try to flee. Alright, so essentially if I want to flee, you click grab and you like drag them downwards. Okay. So we have a few things here. So this is the speed that we can make the combat go. We can make it 2 times speed, go it faster, slow it down. Okay, this is our combat group. Of course, the guys in front are here and the guy in the back. And these 2 extra slots, you can move people around, or there was the one class, I forget what it was, but they're the ones that can summon like heralds of the gods. So you could, you would place them there. This, of course, is the active thingamadoodle. You have your options here. And, excuse me. Here you have your character and your favorites. Be mindful with favorites, because it took me a while to figure out how to do it. I kept screwing them up. But you can attack, you can parry, which is technically defend. You can move your character. You can go through all the stuff in your inventory, because you can use like potions and stuff. Close that. And here you can like change your weapons, change your protective items, change your accessories, etc. Since these guys aren't exactly that big of a deal, I'm going to attack. So now see, when you highlight, it shows I have a 70% chance to hit. It'll do 4 to 5 hit point damage, and if you look on the right hand side, the little arrow will move to which one is targeted. So I'm going to shoot that one. Oh, okay. So that's what that is. All right, I turn on the combat log. I didn't have that on before because I didn't see that in the settings. So you can see up here, I guess, what the damage was done. So now, as the mage, you pretty much have the same thing. But this time we have Magic. So what I want to do... How do you do this? It's like this. Okay, there we go. So I'll show you magic. So sparks. Boop. Now, certain ones in fire, they can cause burns, so they'll continuously take damage over time. And also, when it comes to the people in the front, they can only attack certain ones close to them. Now, Sir Roland can attack all these guys, so he evaded because he's a turd. Ow. I don't know why you're hit so low. Okay. Just used a polearm. Oh, he's stunned! Now, sometimes you will have to attack with your back row, especially if they're out of magic. So that's why, if you can afford it, get them like a polearm or whatever weapon you gave them that has like a status on them, bleeds or whatever, and slowly work on getting them a bit ability to hit more than strength. Because, you know, if you can hit more with your stun, then you can stun them. Gallon always misses. I have no idea why. Okay. Critical fail. Yes, you can critical fail and hurt yourself. You will hate yourself so bad, especially when a person uses it and they have a weapon that causes bleed. So as you see, Arenton, the dinglebat that he was, do I? Okay, I can't bring it up again, can I? No. Okay. He did a critical fail, which essentially he rolled a 1. So he hurt himself and he loses his turn. Trust me, in a big nasty fight, you don't want that to happen. If you want to see about hit points and any effects on them, you can right click. So this warrior has 10 out of 20 hit points and he has 1 stack of, I'm assuming not like 1 stack of bleed, but he's bleeding 1 point a turn, 1 point a turn, I'm assuming. Now, I will say one thing that the Bard was useful for is to one of her songs was able to make sure that you could hit something. Oh, good Lord. You want to save your shurikens for like very large enemies or boss enemies because shurikens are hard to find. I've critical failed and stabbed myself in the toe. They're hard to find and they do cost a fair amount of money. I mean, I know which enemies drop them, but they're pain in the asses. Alright, so we get 36 experience each. We get 54 gold, no items though. Critical fails. Now I know how it feels like watching Critical Role on Twitch and they do a critical fail. It's like, well, okay. So we got a new enemy added to the bestiary. Okay. Now how do we check that? Ogre. There are more enemies you have defeated. Select one to find out more about it. You will gain additional insight on your foes as you defeat more. Okay. The Ascaray are the smallest of the ogre race, but they are also the most numerous. They are of moderate intelligence and prefer to live outdoors. Although not much taller than a human child, Ascaray warriors are quite dangerous when wielding spears. Okay, and as you go on more, I believe you'll find out like if any items they drop or stuff like that. Alright, so what do we got here? Oh, we have a chest. Now, I think if I target you and click on that, what do we have here? Poor cloth suit, poor cloth boots, and 200 coins. Anything else? Alright, wrong button. Okay, so poor cloth suit gives 3 defense. Okay, so it's weighs 4 pounds, gives you 3 defense. No, excuse me. It weighs 2 pounds, The weight penalty for my armor is 4. That's why it's confusing. I don't know why to do it. But you'll find out here, if you put it to here, see this says 4. Okay. And poor cloth boots. Alright, I'm going to actually give you the armor right now. We're going to run everywhere because walking sucks nuts. So that was our first battle, but that was actually important because when we come up here and talk to this guard to get into town... Well, what is it? No strangers enters the village of Velagarn without paying the toll. Toll? To enter a village? I come from far away, soldier. Is this how you receive visitors from other lands? It's the law. This village is under the protection of Prince Nengorth. He makes the rules. Pay the 100 gold and you are free to come and go from the village as you wish for a period of time. And when they say it's a period of time, you better have 100 gold on you or you are not going to be able to get back in. Which sucks. But watch yourself, stranger. Make trouble and you'll be taken to the temple. You must pay the toll by order of Prince Nengorth. You have to pay the toll. They are too strong to... They're too strong to attack. You can attack them, but you will die. So you wanted to fight that goblin down, or I call it a goblin, the Askar or whatever, to get the money in the chest. So pay the money, move along, and stay out of trouble. Get out of here. Yeah, well, you scared the hell out of me because I raised the volume of the voice. Woo! Yeah, so I raised the volume of the voice, and I lowered the volume of the music and the sound effects and all. So we'll see how that works in recording. All right, so this is the village of Velagarn. So let's walk around. Now you can click, there's barrels you can click on, people you can talk to. Stranger. You there, you with the strong young hands. Are you looking for work, my friend? If you can help this poor old man with a bad back by harvesting my grain, I could pay you a fair price. How would you feel about 50 gold in exchange for gathering 20 bundles of grain? Okay.
She is soon.
Alright, so essentially this is grain here. And this will always grow back. But you make... I'm going to do it just once to show you about this quest. But you can gather 40 of these and you can make one food. One foods. It's not exactly the most fun of quests. Because by gosh, by golly... How many do those we have? We can check here. We have 19. All right. So that's 20.
Hello.
Okay, so
Goodbye. It's
a good way to get gold, like, because you need 100, like I said, to come and leave, so. Turn on my torch. Can't see sugar balls. All right. Water buckets can give you food. See, Serenity is lost somewhere in the Golden Woods. Golden Woods. I hate the Golden Woods. Night in dark places. When night falls or you are in a dark area, you can illuminate your surrounding by using a torch or a spell. On the bottom right of your screen, you will find a button to light or douse your torch, and you can see how much longer you will be able to use it. Never go out on an adventure without a handful of torches. Don't. Because when it's dark, you're going to get screwed. So what's in here? Ooh, lockpick. Okay. Need those. Alright, that's one way out of the town, but we don't want to go that way yet. There's some more herbs. There's a chest here. Gold, gold. And what is this? Scroll Sparks 5. Okay. You will... No, can you use it? Boop, boop. Okay. So... You can pick up scrolls of pretty much any spell, from bards' spells, songs, to mages' spells, to healers' stuff, okay? I believe anybody can use the scroll, because I don't think I've ever had problems of, like, if Gallon used it, it didn't, you know, cause a problem or anything, so... You can get a fair amount of scrolls, so you can save them or sell them. This... is the mausoleum of Queen Indaris. Here lies the body of Queen Indaris, 345 to 455. She was the wife of King Uvatha and reigned for 35 years after his death in 410. You could try to pick it. It's not worth it. It's a very, very huge lock. We might be able to get a key later. Some gold. The city mausoleum of the kings are rich in treasure and full of traps. They are correct. They are very correct.
Do you need spiritual help?
Welcome, pilgrims from faraway lands. May the goddess Fibret bless you. The voice and appearance of the priestess resonates with kindness and serenity. Oh yeah, it is a little warm. I am the high priestess of Fibret, the lady of all beings that grow from the earth. Oh, I understand it is not safe to speak of the gods in these times. Are you not afraid? Of the Nengra soldiers? It is they who fear me, and not without reason. One of them tried to take me once, but before he could go so far as to touch me, he was pulled down by roots and swallowed by the earth. Yeah. That was the last anyone saw of him. Don't piss off a goddess of an earth. Excuse me, don't piss off the follower of an earth god is what I meant to say. My brain is all over. There are not many priestesses left in these lands. Many were fooled by the false words of Nengorth and joined his cause. Okay, so you can ask for spiritual help. So you can get healing, remove a curse. You can ask for a blessing. They're pretty good blessings, and the blessings depend on which priestess or priest you talk to. They don't last very long, but they're good. Shouldn't you be in the temple of Fibret? Since Prince Nengorth took Velagarn, the temple has ceased to be a sanctuary and is now a prison. Excuse me. The soldiers do not allow anyone to approach the temple, so we do not know what is happening behind its walls. A grim expression crosses the priestess's face. And what do you think is happening? All I know is that the temple is being used as something more than just a prison. I feel there is a terrible and evil energy emitting from the temple. It seems that it ascends to the very heavens. What can you tell me about the War of the Gods? The sages say that the lords of Xulima had a new plan to better the world as we know it, converting it to a more just and beautiful place. But the ninth Lord Yule did not agree with the plan and confronted the other 8 gods. So, war broke out amongst the gods. Does the battle continue now? The balance of the world hangs by a thread. In the beginning, the battle started here on Earth, but after the great cataclysm, the gods abandoned the world. Now they do combat in the heavens, far beyond our vision. Those of us with spiritual connections to the gods know that Yule, the master of fate, struggles against the other 8 gods and goddesses, and that until now the balance of forces has been maintained. How can one god face 8 others? Is he that powerful? As Alniet is the Lord of Light, whose gift was life itself, Yule is the one who meets mortals at the end of their journeys. It is he who cares for the souls when they die and brings them to a place called the Twilight of Numbria. The wise believe that the power of Yule has increased because he feeds on the souls in the twilight. So essentially, his followers kill more people, the souls go up to where it needs to go, the Twilight of Numbria, and then Yule takes it. So essentially, by constantly killing people and bringing them up to him, he's keeping strong. And there is nothing we can do to alter the balance of forces in favor of the 8. Pray, my son. That is what we priestesses who have escaped the invasion of the impious princes do. Oh, what can you tell me of the lords of Xulima? The lords of Xulima are the creators of the world, or gods according to other cultures. Together they built the world and all else that you can see, from the ground beneath your feet to the dragons that soar through the sky. There are 9, and they can be grouped into 3 categories: the 4 elementals, the 3 dominators, and the 2 creators. The elementals are Valvet, the master of fire, Teliet, the lady of the winds, Naliet, who moves the oceans of the world, and Kursket, who molds the land into mountains and valleys. The dominators are Fibret, the inspiration of nature, Raznet, the lord of all creatures and beasts that walk across the earth, and the third is Golot, the architect of all that is without life. He is also known as the master of dreams. Finally, we come to the creators, the 2 most powerful of the gods, who are opposites. Alniet is the lord of light and life, while Yule reigns over darkness and death. Each one plays an important role in the existence of life. Every race, every creature, every living thing needs all of the gods to be what it is. However, some gods take more interest in some creatures than in others. That is why demons are known as the children of Valvet, while ogres are known as the children of Raznet. Okie dokie, are you joking?
May the gods bless you.
Okay. Now, what do we got on here? Hello. Have you seen the haunted tower north of the village? They call it the Tower of Melancholy. Some of you can hear cries. Yep. Can we open this? I don't think my strength's high enough. Oh, it was. Oh, okay. Opal ring. Sometimes you will find tombs that you can't open because your strength isn't high enough. All right. Another bit of water. Have you tried the water from the well? They say the spring flows in Xulima. You have found a well whose waters glow with a shining dark violet color. Yeah, drink it. All members gain 1 point of divine resistance, and it's permanent. Now you can't drink from the well anymore, but that is permanent what we get. So.
Good day.
Greetings, strangers. I am Galvan, master and trainer. I welcome you to our village, though you come in dark times. You don't look like you're from around here. Where are you from? We come from the Isle of Brina in the far eastern region of Rodinia. Rodinia? Brina? And in all of my travels, I have never heard of these places. Where are they? It's obvious that the inhabitants of Xulima know nothing of the great continent of Rodinia. You decide to not discuss it further. You also decide to keep silent about your divine mission for now. Oh my gosh, people. Can you put sentences correctly? It's a small, remote place. It's not important at all. Tell me, friend, what brings a group such as yourself to Velagarn? We are on a mission, but I cannot say much more. Judging by how the soldiers of Nengorth treat people at the gates, this does not seem to be a very friendly place. Galvin lowers his voice and almost at a whisper says, "Shh, be careful with what you say, my friend. The Prince of Nengorth has eyes everywhere. That said, the people of Velagarn detest him like a sickness. When his forces invaded, they killed many innocent people. All those who resisted and were not killed are now locked up in the Temple of Fabret." The Temple of Fabret is being used as a prison. What? Has the news of Arthurian's fall not reached your lands? Arthurian? Who is that? We appreciate any information you can give us about this region. Galvan's eyes open wide as he carefully examines your face, looking for a sign that you may be joking. I find difficult to believe you know nothing of Arthurian, my friend, but I will tell you what I can. Arthurian was one of king of men in Xulima. He ruled these lands for many years, so many in fact that he appeared immortal. It is said that he was the favorite of the gods. But when the makers departed, Arthurian's life force began to diminish, like a dying candle flame, until finally he disappeared in a puff of smoke. The kingdom was inherited by his 4 sons. Nengorth the Silent took the region of Nabros. Cornil, the enchanter, took Karaga. Darthinos the Beastmaster took Devonia, and Ovengel the Tormentor took Nagria. They have been cruel and terrible governors. They started a war against the priests of the temples and massacred them. They took the temples, converted them to prisons, and then prohibited any worship of the lords of Xulima. For that reason, they are known as the impious princes. So be wary, my friend, not only here but in other villagers as well. That said, you are safer here than in any of the surrounding areas. The world is now plunged into chaos. Terrible creatures that once existed only in stories and legends now roam the lands. If the lords do not return, I do not know what will become of us. You'll probably all die. Thank you for talking to us, and thank you for your advice, Master Galvin. New journal event. Arthurian was the great king of men in Xulima. It seemed that he was held high in the favor of the gods until their disappearance. After him, his 4 sons divided the kingdom and began a reign of terror over the lands of Xulima. They massacred the priests and turned their temples into prison. Is this what Golot spoke of in my dreams? Is my mission to cast the armies of the impious princes out of the temples? Okay. Tell me about Prince Nengorth. His castle is to the east in the region of Nabros. Take care, for his forces protect the temple, the village, and all the border crossings, and they hurt. Someday that cursed man will get his due. That day will be remembered and celebrated by the people of Velagarn. Take courage, my friend, for that day may be closer than you think. Okay, so you can improve your abilities through training, and that costs money. Be careful. because every skill point, the price is going to go up. So only do it if you have a butt ton of coin, or if you're seriously needing, like if you're like 1 point shy away from getting a skill or something, okay? I'll show you once. So everybody should have, the party has gained a skill point. All characters can use it to improve their skills when they level up, all right? See, now it's 100, so be very careful. Now he also gives us job postings. Here you will find various requests posted by the townsfolk. If you complete one of these tasks, let me know and I will grant you the reward. So we got here Dobrik's ring. Azalea of Velagarn wants to recover the ring owned by her husband Dobrik. The last time Dobrik was seen, he was headed for the Rat Cave near the Tower of the Melancholy. You can reach the cave through the southeast gate of the village. Excuse me. Yes, we will accept your mission. Okay. Alright.
Take care.
Alright. So, if I'm right... Where does it tell me how many skill points I have? Ah, yes. Okay, here's the deal. That's right. When you get skill points, it's not like in other games where you can just use it right away. You need to wait until you actually level. So, like, you can spend a bunch of money and get the stuff. So, like, you know, when you're really close to leveling, you know, you can bet about it or not. That's up to you. I don't know. Because I mainly spend my money when I was playing before. I spent it a lot on shurikens and potions more than anything else. Right now, we're going to save the game. And when we get back, we will continue talking to the people of Velagarn. So, this is Angel Terri. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye-bye.